We are currently on Nurburgring 24 hours. We're gonna do 2 races, each gonna be about 45 minutes long. It's the full Nurburgring 24-hour course. So they're gonna do the GP track and also the Nordschleife. And the start is currently underway. I'm just gonna get all the race info up here. We're currently following Swoil in second position and TRL Racer putting down the fastest lap time. So he's in pole position. As we're moving down the field, we have Cerulean behind him. I was actually going to be 4th, but due to some bugs in Gran Turismo, I got stuck on the starting line, so right now I'm just gonna commentate instead, still being part of this awesome community. So we're currently running Group 2 cars. Everybody's running the same car. It's the Lexus RCF GT500 car. And Tolson trying to make a move on Swedish Jack Army and makes the pass on the outside. These cars have about 700 horsepower and a lot of downforce. Looks like just like a regular GT car, but they are super fast. Behind Swedish Jack Army we have Firestorm, who could not unfortunately qualify. So he was put... Oh, it's huge contact going down into the roundabout. Firestorm could not qualify due to some issues, so he started in last position, already moving up to the 6th position. Vinatish currently in 8th position, losing the rear end and hitting the wall, and also out on the grass again and spinning around. As soon as this driver is gonna get back on course, the grip is gonna be really bad. Going out again, just not having the grip, having so much dirt and gravel and grass on those tires, getting a penalty of 1.8 seconds. Behind Vinatish we have Johnson Smith in the Division Racing Lexus, going a bit wide and hitting the barricade. Not good, damage is on. So, but I think Johnson is fine. Did not damage anything on the car, but putting some gravel and dirt on those tires is gonna have really bad grip. He's lacking grip right now, and it's especially important in this corner, high speed corner. And here we have Blunt Rider. And here you can see all the drivers that are stuck on the starting line. Conrad Carlson, Abramson, and Mika as well. I was part of this 4-man team, but I quickly jumped out and started broadcasting instead. Still in the lead we have TRL Eraser, and behind him we have Svoil in that Göteborg Driving Academy Lexus, going into the first carousel. Cerulean still holding 3rd, with Slafund right behind him in that pitch black Lexus. Firestorm has worked his way up to 5th position. Behind him we have Tolson with a 0.6 second penalty, going also into the carousel, trying to work down that penalty. Behind Tolson we have Swedish Jack Army, that monster green Lexus. There's a battle for 8th position. We have Benatish and Johnson Sve going side by side into the carousel, and Johnson spinning out, getting ghosted and passed by Benatish, just capitalizing super fast on that. Blunt Rider in 10th. And that Rolex Nike, I think it's Nike livery car. Still 3 cars on the starting grid. Hopefully they will move out of the way and not be in the way of oncoming cars, who are now starting to move up to the long straightaway. Svoil still chasing TRL Racer and actually catching up to him as they go into the second carousel, going into this tight right-hander with a bit of a bump, so it's gonna unsettle the car a bit. And then going into the fast sweeper coming out on the straight, and Svoil just trying to catch up to TRL Racer and getting that slipstream, trying to pass him. As you can see, the fuel is about 2/3. They start at 75%, and I'm not too sure about what the tire wear is on, but I think it's 2 or maybe 3 times the tire wear. I think it's 2 times the tire wear. Doing about 300 kilometers an hour into this little snakish area, doing a hard braking into this chicane, and see if Svoil can catch up to him. It's just outside of the slipstream, just taking the outside line, passing the cars. Schlafhund in 3rd position, getting chased by Cyrillian. Cyrillian might have made a mistake somewhere out in the sticks and moving down to 4th because he lost his 3rd position. Behind Cyrillian we have Firestorm still in 5th position, moving up from dead last. Getting out of the hairpin on the GP track. Tolson holding 6th position. Like I said earlier, we're gonna do 2 stints, 2 finals of 45 minutes each, with a bit of a breather between the races. Not too sure how many minutes, but it's just gonna be a few minutes. Benatish down in 9th. Followed by Blunt Rider in 10th, and then we have 11, 12 and 13th position still standing on the starting line as we check up on our lead driver, TRL Racer. Keeping a steady pace just behind TRL Racer. Bit less worn tires on Svoil's car. Look especially on the front tires and the right and rear tire. Svoil has a bit more. TRL Racer going hard into the... I'm not too sure what the turns are called on Nordschleife. He's losing a bit grip in the rear end. This is definitely gonna be a tight fight. Two really good drivers, especially Svoil in a Group 2 car. He has not been shining too much in the Group 3 because he's been mainly focusing on the new season of the Group 2 cars. So this is currently the first season we're doing Group 2 and also the first race. And somebody thought it would be a good idea to put it on Nordschleife. That guy. So in third position we still have Schlafen being closely chased by Cerulean, and behind him we have Firestorm. Let's check on Firestorm's tires. They are about the same on... he's been pushing hard. His front tires are not as good as Cerulean or Schlafen's. You can see especially his left front rear tire. Bitwarden is going hard on the inside, making contact with Cerulean, not going to make the pass though. But not getting a penalty either, so good for Firestorm. Cerulean letting him pass, don't want any accidents. He knows Firestorm is a... Cerulean knows that Firestorm is a faster driver, so he's just gonna let him pass. To our first and second position holders. TRL Racer getting a bit of a distance from Svoil, but it's not really far. Going a bit wide in this turn, losing that rear end just a bit as well. Going into the carousel. Still tied on his tail. Firestorm coming up to third position and begins his quite long chase. He's about 2 or 3 turns behind first and second place holder right now. As you can see, Firestorm's super fast driver. He's already pulling away from Cerulean. Cerulean in fourth, that means that Schlafen probably made a mistake somewhere. It's a really devilish track. It looks quite wide, just as maybe Brands Hatch looks, but when you're going these speeds, it feels like treading on a rope. Going down the line we have Tolson. Going off track. Swedish Jack Army trying to give chase, and he has Tolson right in his sights right now, but he has a 3.6 second penalty. He's gonna have to serve it somewhere. Behind the Swedish Jack Army in this Power Max super green livery Lexus, we have Johnson. Not too far behind. I can't really tell the times. It's going sort of back and forth. We've had issues tonight with especially the PlayStation Network, and also with some bugs on Gran Turismo Sport as well. Vinatish holding 9th, and as we move down the line we have Blunt Rider in 10th. Then we have 3 cars on the starting grid. Like I said earlier, we have had some issues tonight, pushing the start about 45 minutes late. Still in the lead we have TRL Racer, and Svoil is gone. Where is he? Falling way further down. He must have made some mistake hitting the grass or something. Really slippery rear end. The tires are starting to wear down. about, I was just counting in my counting silently, but he's about 11 seconds down from TRL Racer. Let's see if he has any damage on his car. Yeah, you can see on the right hand side of the car a bit of damage to his front. Nothing on the rear, so I'm guessing he has been off the track and hit a barricade somewhere. No damage on the car, what I can see on the small map where the tires are. TRL Racer putting down his first sort of a hot lap on 7 minutes and 24, almost 25 seconds. You can see Swivel at 7:32. So he's way off. But this track, especially when you go out into the woods on Nordschleife, don't pay attention, it's going to catch you off guard. If you hit the wrong curb or just lean the car a bit too much outside of the racing line and hit a bit of maybe gravel, grass, curb, it's gonna catch you and you're gonna go super fast into a barricade. As we move down, we have Firestorm entering. Yeah, you can see the tag Hoyer time in the middle, 596 something minutes. Or hours maybe, 31 minutes, 23 seconds and 643. Yeah, the timing is very off. Like I said earlier, we had some issues with Gran Turismo Sport and the PlayStation Network. We are currently missing Bornhall. We couldn't even connect to the PlayStation Network, and we have a couple of cars still standing here on the starting grid, including myself, but I removed myself and started streaming instead. TRL Racer still in the lead. You can see like the timing on the left hand side is super way off, but he's approximately around 10 or 15 seconds ahead of Savoy right now. You can see TRL Racer's front tires starting to wear down super fast. So I think if Swoil does not push it super hard, drive just a bit safe and save his tires, because he has half a tank of fuel and that's gonna last him very long. The tires are the things that are going to wear out first. Might be able to catch up. Firestorm currently third with AU livery. That livery is actually from the GT 500 class in Japan, where these cars originate from. Firestorm going way too fast in that corner and hitting the barricade, getting a bit of dirt on his tires as well. So he has to be careful. Here we have Swoil, currently in second position, giving chase to the lead driver, which is TRL Racer. That red line racing livery. TRL Racer having a bit of a... Well, I think he has had a bit of a time off from Gran Turismo Sport. He was active back in the earlier seasons in Group 3 before Group 2 even existed inside of Gran Turismo Sport. But he's back now, super excited to drive in the Group 2 championship here in the Swedish Racing League. He said over a party chat that he prefers the Group 2 cars to the Group 3. He said the cars fit his driving style a bit more. Can drive super aggressive with the cars. They have a lot of power, and these cars are only 2-liter 4-cylinder cars with probably a huge turbo, because they have about 700 horsepower and a lot of aerodynamics. checking back on Spoil. Still giving chase. He's just a couple of turns behind him. Let's see if I can time this inside my head as they move to something that is easily to track on the track. One time. Let's see. Svol going off track again. Super vicious track when you're out here in the woods on Nordschleife, so he's gonna have a lot less grip now when he's hit the dirt, gravel and grass. Gonna have to be a bit careful, especially with the rear end on these cars. If I know Svoil right, he's not driving with, I think he has factory ABS on, but no traction control whatsoever. So these cars, a lot of power, a lot of downforce, but with that amount of power, you can slip out with the rear end super fast. Back in third, we still have Firestorm trying to catch up. They're just one turn off from each other. In fourth, we have Schlafen in that pitch black Lexus. Behind him we should have Cerulean. Cerulean getting caught off guard by the track. Slipping out a bit on the outside tires and losing grip instantly, spinning around out into the dirt and hitting the barricade. Moving down in sixth position we have Johnson Sve. That Division livery Lexus. Like I said earlier, everybody's driving the Lexus, and we are going to switch cars between tracks. And we're going to drive the Lexus 2 times, we're going to drive the Honda NSX 2 times, and I think the GTR only 1 time. And this is currently the first race of the first season of the Group 2 Championship in the Swedish Racing League. Moving up, we have Firestorm moving in, changing tires. Here we have Spoil on worn tires, taking up first position. Then we have TRL Racer right behind him, but he's on super fresh tires. The tires are gonna be a bit cold for the moment, but as soon as Eraser gets a bit of heat in his tires and starts to get grip in those, I think he's going to be able to pass Spoil quite easily. Especially when he's this close to him, he's going to utilize that slipstream, getting a higher top speed, and might be able to outbrake him since Svoil has a bit more worn tires. Svoil has 3 laps, his first set of tires, and Eraser just coming out of the pits with fresh ones, just like Firestorm in third position. So let's see if Svoil's strategy is going to hold up. He said earlier when we were practicing, he's probably going to be able to make good pace with the first set of tires for about 4 laps, but we're only driving 6 laps, so I'm not too sure what his strategy is going to be like, so we'll just have to watch and see. Back down in fourth we still have Schlafen in that pitchback Lexus, also fresh tires. Behind him we have Cerulean, also fresh tires. Johnson Smith just getting out of the pits in the Division Racing Lexus, fresh tires. Tolson just coming out of the Nordschleife into the GP track. Oh, going super hard into the pits, cutting some cones and also the barricade. Thank God that this is a game. Otherwise it would have been super expensive. The team would not be super happy about it as well. Swedish Jack Army. Let's see if he's going to hit as well. So we're halfway through the race. Being at Tish, 9th position, getting out on that long straightaway through that Audi Sport sign. Behind him we have Blunt Rider, holding up 10th. Then we have 3 drivers, as usual, thanks to Gran Turismo and its small bugs. We tried to restart the server, and due to the PlayStation Network being a bit fiddly as well, we could not let anybody else take over as a host. So we could not get anybody else to host the server, because we had to send friend requests left and right, and nobody could accept them because PlayStation Network was not cooperative at all. Never mind that, we still have a race here. Like I said earlier, this race is going to be split up in 2 sessions. We're gonna have 2 finals, 2 finals. Spoil starting to feel that loss of grip in the rear end. Just Eraser just trying to get past him as fast as possible, trying to go high and low and doing a cut in. But Spoil just making his Lexus Group 2 car as wide as possible. It's going to be super hard to pass on this track, especially out here in the woods. Only place for you to really pass is going to be either out braking, just doing a late brake. Oh, Eraser cutting the track just a bit. He's trying to get that slipstream out on the straightaway, going up on the inside, not being able to make a move. This corner, this left-hand sweeper is just full throttle. No lip at all. TRL Racer backing off just a bit. Spoil is feeling those tires getting worn down more and more. TRL Racer trying to get on the inside, but he's not going to be able to make it in that first carousel. Spoil trying really hard to get Eraser, just trying to get him to stay behind him, getting him to wear down his tires. But he's going to have to pull off a miracle if he's going to be able to go into the pits, switch tires, and then get back out there. If he's going to switch tires at all, I have no idea what's going through Spoil's head right now. But as we check down the line, we still have Firestorm in 3rd. Not too sure how far back he is, maybe 2 or 3 turns. 4 turns maybe. A bit hard to see on that really small map up in the right hand corner, and we also have no timing. Schlafond in 4th, Cerulean holding 5th, Johnson Space still in 6th, Tolson in 7th, and Swedish Jack Army in 8th. Binatish pulling a 10.3 second penalty, holding in 9th position. Blunt Rider in 10th, and then we have cars on the starting line. But this is where it's happening right now. We have Spoil in the lead, worn down tires, TRL Racer giving chase with fresh tires. Spoil just trying to block him as hard as he can. We're gonna have to take a sip of water, talking this much. Spoil losing the car, hitting Eraser as well, spinning around, and also out in the grass. Will he... Oh, we have 2 viewers on air. Spoil just going too fast into the 2nd carousel, losing the grip in his rear end, spinning the car, and also bumping into TRL Racer, who's holding 1st position right now, way down there, and also spinning around a 2nd time, hitting the grass. And right behind Spoil we have Firestorm giving chase, starting from that last position due to not being able to qualify, rocking that AU livery straight from Japan. Schlafund in 4th, just getting out on the super long straight. Cerulean out into the litter box. He even has his own name on the side, super huge letters. Here we have Svoil getting into the pits, realizing he's not going to be able to hold pace on those tires. They're only worn down not even a third on all 4 tires, but these cars are going super fast. And this track is really bouncy, especially when you get off the GP track and out into the Schleife. It's really bumpy, really narrow, and if you want to go super fast, you're gonna have to ride some curves, but not all of them, because some are quite steep and it's gonna bump you off the track. And trying to remember which curve you can hit and which curve you should not hit is super hard. I think there are 80 something turns on this track. 82. Firestorm moving up to 2nd position. And we have TRL Racer in the lead right now. Svoil in 3rd. Svoil has put on fresh rubber on his car in that Göteborg Driving Academy Lexus. Let's see how far in between TRL Racer, lead driver, is he from Firestorm. Let's see if we can see as they come up to this sector here. Did not tick down on Firestorm in that sector. Let's see as he passes the Yokohama. About 16 seconds between them. And only 1.5 lap to go. Let's see if TRL Racer is going to be able to hold up. They have about the same tire wear, same fuel as well, so it's going just to come down to driver skill. Is TRL Racer going to keep his car on track? I'm not too sure if these drivers can see how far back the chase or lead driver is, because I cannot see it. Timing table is just going bananas right now. All I can see is in their right hand side their lap times. And fastest lap right now is TRL Racer on 7:24.954. Moving down the line we have Svoil holding 3rd. Not trying to make too many mistakes. We're gonna have this race going 2 sessions of about 45 minutes each. So they drive about 7.5 minutes each lap, and we're driving 6 laps. Not too sure on the math there, but Svoil said it was going to be about 45 minutes. Moving down the line even further, we have Slapon in 4th. Cerulean in 5th, Johnson Sve in 6th position, Tolson in 7th, Swedish Jack Army in 8th, Binatish in 9th, Blunt Rider in 10th, and then we have 11, 12 and 13th, and also myself, 14. Should also be there, but due to a Gran Turismo bug, some drivers get stuck on the starting line, and only solution to this problem is having somebody else host the server, but everybody's not friend on PlayStation Network with everybody, so it's going to be a huge problem, especially when PlayStation Network is not being cooperative at all, so we can't add any friends to our friends list and restarting the server with a different host. So it is what it is. It's the first race. There are gonna be plenty more. Moving back, we have a TRL racer still holding the lead. Quite strong lead. Last time I checked, it was 16 or something seconds between him and this guy. Firestorm 13:37. Going a bit wide in that left and right hand turn. That curb you can cut quite significantly in these cars. Not this turn though. If you cut that curb on the inside, it's gonna push you off and into the dirt and also into the barricade. Soil going a bit wide there, but he is definitely catching up to Firestorm. They are not too far off each other. Super long track, doing the whole 24-hour track, which also include the Nurburgring GP track. So doing one lap on this track is going to be about 4 or 5 laps on a different track. See the difference as Firestorm passes the Audi Sport sign. About 10 seconds. Svol can definitely see Firestorm ahead. And Svol has better tires, a bit less fuel. Svol is definitely one of the more aggressive drivers I know. In terms of driving style, not necessarily hitting people and all that jazz, but he's a super aggressive driver, drives really fast. I have not been able to catch up to him, especially on this track or any other track for that matter. He really enjoys the Group 2 cars. A lot of downforce, a lot of power. So it's like Group 3 cars on steroids basically. Firestorm going out onto the GP track. Svol not too far behind. With the racer quite far ahead actually, hitting the south bend there. Not really a hairpin, but Firestorm hitting that lower section hairpin. Svol just getting down to it. 4th position, we still have Schlafens. Nothing has really changed here. Cyrilin in 5th. Tolson in 6th. Swedish Jack Army 7th. Vinatish in 8th. Blunt Rider in 9. And 10, 11, 12 on the starting grid. Johnson Sveas left the room. Swedish Jack Army, a 1 second penalty there for cutting the track somewhere. Unfortunately, we're missing a few drivers here, including myself and Bornhall as well, having troubles with the PlayStation Network, not being cooperative at all, and also these 3 riders, Abramson, Conrad Carlson, and Mika. For these 3 guys are really good drivers. Real shame that we couldn't be able to drive with them. TRL Racer still holding the lead. Firestorm in 2nd. Svol in 3rd. Verstappen 4, Cyril in 5th, Paulson in 6th, going really slow. Seems to, yeah, he's definitely damaged. You can see in the left lower corner next to of the tires, in the middle of the tires. You can see he has damaged his suspension, his front bumper, and also his gearbox. And then the damage is self-repaired, so coming up to this straightaway has full power again. Pirelli Racer first. Firestorm in second. And Svoil giving chase in third position. Let's get a different view. No, you can't see Firestorm. Talking so much. Not really used to this commentator gig that I have signed up for voluntarily. It's all going a bit wide on that exit. You can see the split times are fairly accurate, but if you look at the lower left-hand corner, you can't see the total time that we have been driving, and also on the left-hand side in the list, the split times between the cars are not accurate at all. Going up to Pirelli Racer, still in first position, holding that lead. Firestorm in second. Svoil in third. And what is new to the Group 2 series, the championship that we are driving, is that the first, second and third place winners, maybe, are going to have weight penalties on the next race, so the field is going to be a bit more equalized. So they are going to have to drive with a heavier car. I'm not too certain how much weight they are going to get, but it is definitely going to impact the car. As we are moving from the huge Nurburgring 24-hour, we're going to drive a Red Bull Ring and also the new track that is Fuji Speedway. I think Fuji Speedway is going to be the last race of the season due to it being a brand new track for everybody in GT Sport. Svoil holding that third position. Firestorm in second, Racer in first. These guys are out on their last lap. catching up to Firestorm. What happened to Firestorm? Did he have an accident? Let's quickly check his car. Is there any damage on him? It looks like it. Oh, he's going super wide. Swoil taking that second position. Super tight racing as they get up to the last straightaway. Not too sure where Firestorm made the mistake, but he lost the second position to Swoil, capitalizing on his mistake. Otherwise, a solid drive from all the drivers. Some people, or most drivers, were off the track, but it's a really unforgiving track when you're driving the 24-hour at these speeds. Time remaining is 2 minutes. You can see it on the right hand side for the other drivers to get to the finish line. If they won't make it, they will just get the position they are in at that time when the timer runs out. So currently in the first session of 2, we're gonna do this one more time. We have TRL Racer taking pole position and holding the lead almost all the way through, except for when he went into the pits and Swoil overtook him, not going into the pit lane. In second position we have Swoil. I think TRL Racer drives for Redline Racing, Team Redline. Let's quickly check his car. Yeah, Team Redline, you can see it on the front of his hood. And we have Swoil driving for Göteborg Driving Academy. Göteborg being Gothenburg. And we have Firestorm for Team Fire in that AU livery, straight from Japan. In fourth position we have, let's see, Schlafhund in that pitch black Lexus. Cerulean in fifth. Tolson is going to spin out, apparently. Like I said earlier, unforgiving track. Slightest mistake and you're gonna get caught off guard. Tolson really struggling, getting dirt on his tires and not getting any grip at all. There we have it. Timer has run out. And we're going to try this again. Let's see if this time I can actually go to the track. I'm quickly gonna ask if I'm going to drive or not. Where's the question mark? There. PlayStation Network not being cooperative, and we can't join any parties, we can't send any friend requests, so it is what it is. Firestorm asking why are people leaving. We still have one more final to go. And And these guys are gonna start in the same qualifying lineup. So if anybody who's watching or gonna watch this later, it's gonna be up on YouTube. If you want to join in on this race, you are very much allowed to do so. We want more drivers, and you can contact either Svoil. You can see it on the left hand side or right hand side, Svoil, his name, or Bornhall, Bornhall, or West 308, if I'm not mistaken. Contact those, either one of those three, and sign up for the Swedish Racing League. We also have a website. Just gonna try to get it up here on my phone and put it in the YouTube comments. It is Gran Turismo Sport, all one word, granturismosport.se/SRL. granturismosport.se/SRL, and the SRL is the Swedish Racing League. You can see all the races we have, all the series that we have, drivers, teams, tracks, cars. I think you can even see all the times as well. And apparently I have my old friend Nicholas Bengtsson with me watching this stream. He says it's much more exciting than watching from previous streams with just the driver's position point of view. And not much more for 3 hours. Too bad I was beached at the starting line. Let's see here. Am I supposed to drive? Never mind. I'm gonna do commentary. Just gonna type real quick. So I'm just gonna do the commentary for this race, since it's already shot to hell with the first race. So they're going to start heat number 2. I've been learning a bit about this commentary and also watching myself on YouTube, or listening to myself on YouTube, and it wasn't too exciting. A bit monotone on the voice, so I'm gonna try and sound a bit more exciting, a bit more excited over this race. Stefan asking if you can see it. He's asking if you can see it after the race is done, and it's going to be up on YouTube. The whole race with the commentary, and also myself and 3 other drivers getting beached on the start line. Thanks a lot, Gran Turismo Sport. Just gonna post a... oh shit. Send them the link for the stream. Let's see here. Oh, here. Share. Copy link. Go. So if you want to get in on this Swedish Racing League, I'm gonna put a link in the description. And there you should have everything you need to contact one of the 3 admins. We are currently doing Group 3, Group 2, I think Group C, which is old school Group 1 cars, like I think it's a 7A, 7B or something, that old school Le Mans rotary Mazda, and some other cars as well. TRL Racer currently being Ghost. No Firestorm on the track? Question mark. Yeah, Firestorm is on the track. We currently have Mika and also Conrad Carlson beached on the starting grid, just like before. And if I would have started the race, I think I would have been there as well. Anyway, back to the commentary. TRL Racer getting the fastest lap on the qualifying session. These guys basically had one lap to do so. One warm-up lap and then one hot lap. Now the camera's all fiddly. Yeah, it's the standard camera and everything. Not too sure why it's going back and forth. But we have TRL Racer holding that pole position with the fastest lap on Nurburgring 24-hour track. Svoil close in second. Let's see here. Mika should have been third, but he's got a migraine or headache or something, so he's going to be out of the race. Fourth position should have been me, but due to PlayStation Network issues and other things, some people just couldn't make it. And the race is on. We have TRL Racer up in front. Oh, he's cold tires. Be careful. Not gonna have the grip. Just trying to push super hard. Svoil doing a steady pace. Not trying to wear down those tires super fast. TRL Racer holding first. Svoil in second. Schlafund in third. Tolson in fourth. Binatish going way off track. Back and forth into the barrier. Sixth position. Getting a penalty. And both Firestorm and Blunt Rider capitalizing on it. Firestorm getting that inside line. Blunt Rider getting a bit hold up with Binatish going off track. Binatish going out onto the grass and overtaking Blunt Rider. These two are teammates, so they have to be careful not bumping each other out. Behind Blunt Rider we have Swedish Jack Army in that Power Max Lexus. And Mika beached, Conrad Carlson beached as well. Back to the top two, TRL Racer and Svoil. Svoil giving chase, staying super tight on TRL Racer's back end of the car, and Svoil is off. He's off the line, but he managed to get the car back, losing a bit of ground to TRL Racer. Not too far though. He might be able to catch up and try to utilize that slipstream as they are going to hit the longer straightaways. Schlafund in third, Tolson in fourth, Firestorm in fifth. The timing table is still weird, so I'm not gonna have super accurate timers. But I'm just gonna have to hit a point and count in my head to see, you know, rough it out to see how far behind they are, how far ahead. Beach drivers, too bad. TRL Racer, first position. Svoil in second, Schlafund in third, Tolson in fourth, and Firestorm in fifth, giving chase. Firestorm, super fast driver. Tolson is going to have to watch out because Firestorm is gonna come like a wrecking ball. Or a jet plane. Firestorm, super clean driver. Didn't go too well for him in the Group 3 race last night on Brands Hatch, but Firestorm utilizing that slipstream, just tucking in behind Tolson, trying to pass him on the outside. Will he be able to make it? I think Tolson will let him through. He knows that Firestorm is a super fast driver, does not want to cause any accidents. Better to let him just pass. Firestorm in fourth, Schlafund still in third, and we have Svoil in second. They are entering and exiting the first carousel. TRL Racer still holding first. Really fast drivers, these top two, or top four should I say. One lap is going to take roughly about 7.5 minutes, and they're going to drive for 6 laps. Tire wear should be on 2 times the wear. Not super confident that it is 2 or maybe. Yeah, I'm not gonna swear on my mother on that, but TRL Racer still in first, Svoil in second. Let's see if he can keep the car on the track. Commentator's curse, sorry. Just as I say that, he's losing the rear end there a bit. Staffan in third, Firestorm giving chase. A bit offline into that upwards chicane. Did he do a mistake maybe? Soil is a bit too far back once they enter the long straightaway before they enter the GP track, so he's not going to be able to capitalize on that slipstream trying to get past. TRL Racer going super wide, almost losing the car there. Only 3 seconds between the top 2 drivers. As you can see, they're hitting the 300 kilometers an hour mark. These cars top out at about 302, I think. And then the car shuts off the ignition just a bit, and you go straight back down to about 293. So you want to keep it around that 300 mark, but not going over it. As we have here, 2 cars beached, getting the blue flag. Let's see, Staffan still in third, Firestorm in fourth. It's not too far off. It's going to be really tricky on the 3rd lap when they have worn down the tires and getting ready for a pit stop. TRL Racer still in the lead, Svoil giving chase in second, as they are about to go down into the tarmac carousel maybe. And heading up the back up to the back straight and the end of the GP track. These cars are only 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbocharged engines, but they have roughly around 700 horsepower and a lot of aerodynamics. You can see the fins on, especially on the rear end of the car on the left and right hand side. Staffan in third. That pitch black Lexus. Firestorm in fourth. As we move down the line, passing Firestorm, we have Tolson in 5th, we have Swedish Jack Army in 6th, Blunt Rider in 7th, and Vinotish giving chase in 8th position, trying to catch up on that slipstream. These two are teammates, so they don't want to go super rough on each other. Two beach cars, Mika and Conrad Carlson. TRL Racer still in the lead. Seems like he has gotten a bigger lead on Svoil. Might be the high speeds. It's just the high speed section. It is only 3 seconds separating these two drivers. Racer in that Red Line Racing Team livery. also a former GT Academy contestant. Not too sure what year, but it was a few years ago. A really good driver. Schlafen in third. Firestorm inching closer and closer. Rider and Benetish, teammates, and stranded riders as they exit this super deep chicane. TRL Racer still having the lead, doing a super solid run in these hectic Group 2 cars on this super narrow and bumpy track. Also known as Green Hell, and for a good reason as well. Spoiled, just trying to drive super steady, not doing any mistakes at all. This is currently the first race of the first season of the Group 2 Championship, where we do 2 sessions, 2 finals. So we start off with a qualifying run of 20 minutes, and then they line up for the first final, and the top 3 riders get a weight penalty to even out the field. So they are going to get heavier cars, which is gonna wear down the tires faster. They're not going to be able to drive just as fast. Schlafhund getting chased by Firestorm. Being quite tight. Let's see if Firestorm can utilize a bit of slipstream here. I don't think he is close enough. Hear the tires squeal on these super mean cars of 700 horsepower and aerodynamics close to, I think they are, I was watching the Super GT in Japan on a live stream on Nismo TV, and they said that these cars are as fast or a bit faster as the older R18 LMP car. And they look just like regular GT3 cars, but with a bit more aerodynamics on the rear end. But these cars are super fast. TRL Racer still having the lead, going into this snake section. Spoil right behind him, setting his eyes on the prize. He knows that TRL Racer has more weight to his car than he does. Might be able to capitalize on that. Going into the and exiting the second carousel. Going out to the long straightaway as they enter the Nurburgring GP track. Let's see if Swoit can tuck up behind him. Is he close enough? I think he is, because he's holding quite a high speed compared to TRL Racer. He's definitely catching up to TRL Racer, just scraping that barricade a little bit. Svoil taking over the lead, going out on the 3rd lap. TRL Racer coming out is going to get still going to be in second position. Firestorm still chasing Schlafund. Going through the beach riders. Let's see if Spoil can extend his lead by just a little bit. He has heat in his tires, not too worn down, and TRL Racer is currently driving on cold tires, so that is definitely going to slow him down, and they were so tight coming up to that Nurburgring GP track that if Spoil can do a good lap, he might come out ahead of TRL Racer. Firestorm has currently left the room. Schlafund is off track. Svoil currently in the lead. It's Gothenburg Driving Academy livery. TRL Racer has got a tire temperature. He's trying to give chase. Fresh tires. As you can see, there's a tiny bit of difference in fuel consumption between these two drivers. Spoil being a super aggressive driver in his driving style. Clocking almost 300 kilometers an hour in this section. 120, 140 out of the turn. TRL Racer driving for Team Red Line. Behind him we have Schlafund and Pitch Black Lexus. Behind him we have Tolson. Schlafund has damage on his left hand side, on his suspension, just went away. Might have hit a wall just a bit too hard. The exciting thing is going to be when these two drivers, Svoil and TRL Racer, comes out of the Nordschleife and entering the GP track, where Svoil is most likely going to go into the pits, switch tires, and maybe he'll come out ahead of TRL Racer, who had cold tires and a fresh set of cold tires entering the GP track, and that may slow him down quite a bit in that first section. But if Svoil manages to get out ahead, he's going to get out ahead on cold tires. So the question is, if he makes it, will he be able to hold off TRL Racer as they go on the GP track? Not too sure how long the pit stops are on this track, but we'll see. Drivers are a bit in no man's land, chasing, but they can't really see any of the other drivers. The drivers here feed on mistakes on especially this track. One mistake and you're gonna lose so much time. for more drivers in the Group 2 series, and it did not help that we had struggles with both PlayStation Network and the bugs that have currently been occurring in Gran Turismo Sport, where drivers are getting stuck on the starting line, and doesn't really matter what you do. You try to shift, you try to gas, brake, reverse, turn, nothing is going to happen. The car is just gonna stand there and rev limit, like these two drivers right here, including myself in the first session. And the only way to circumvent that is to have another driver host the game lobby. And since PlayStation Network is under some sort of maintenance and doesn't want to cooperate, we couldn't have another person host the game, because nobody could send out any friend requests or accept them for that matter. So it is what it is. First race of the first season. Not going too well, but it's going really well for these two top drivers, as Svoil is entering the long straightaway, just trying to go as fast as he can, putting as much space between him and TRL Racer, who won the first final. These drivers are doing 2 finals, and the top 3 drivers are getting weight penalized. So they're getting weight penalties to even out the playing field, and that's also what they do in the real GT 500 race in Japan as well. Let's see here, Svoil coming out on the GP track, and he is not going to pit. Huh. I was so sure that he was going to pit. Not too sure how long is he going to drive another lap on those tires. Bit of a wild card. Well, we'll see if it pays off. Schlaffen still in third. Swedish Jack Army spinning 2 turns before the he spun out, and now Tolson has caught up. Schlaffen going into the pits. Tolson giving chase to Swedish Jack Army. Well, Swedish Jack Army has damaged suspension there quite a bit, but it fixes itself, luckily for him. Tolson just trying to utilize that slipstream, catching up to Swedish Jack Army as we go up, and let's see, TRL Racer still in second, Svoil in first position, entering the Nordschleife Green Hell on a bit worn down tires. TRL Racer, he has 1 full lap on his tires. As you can see, Svoil has a bit less fuel as well in his car, a bit less weight penalty as well, so his car is going to be lighter, and also not wearing his tires down too much. Oh! Almost spins out there as he's just entering the Nordschleife 24-hour section. Manages to save the car and also his current lead, but that is definitely gonna put a chip in his time. Seventh position, we have Binatish, Blunt Rider going into the pits. Flashy wheels. Oh, and rabbit jump. Swedish Jack Army still rolling on his tires. Tolson in 4th. So Tolson has passed Swedish Jack Army for the 4th position. Schlaffen still in 3rd in that pitch black Lexus. TRL Racer in 2nd and Spoil in 1st. Let's see if he can manage to hold on to this lead. His tires are wearing down and it's not gonna help it and his cause to take 1st position. I was so sure that he was going to pit the last lap after the 3rd lap, but apparently not. He's still driving on those tires. TRL Racer pitted after the 2nd lap. So we'll see. Yeah, you can see definitely he's slipping up on the rear end of the car there, losing tires, losing the tire grip, wearing down his tires, so he can't go as fast as he has to be really careful. This section of the 24-hour, as you exit the GP track, it's super narrow, really bumpy, and can catch you off guard really fast, so he has to be cautious now. But is that cautious going to cost him time? Because I'm quite sure that he has to pit. TRL Racer on the other hand has a lot more grip in his car, a bit more weight to it though, since he has weight penalty. Schlaffen, fresh tires. You can see the difference between the top 2 drivers and Schlaffen in 3rd, how much fuel they have spent. Definitely harder on that gas, revving the car up higher. Göteborg Driving Academy drivers Spoil and Team Redline TRL Racer. Pretty sure that's what TRL stands for, Team Redline. Oh, going a bit wide there up on the curb, almost losing his car. That could have cost him quite a substantial amount of time and even damaged his car. Quite far down to Schlaffen. You can see it on the top right hand side of the screen. The track is super long, so you can't really tell all the turns in that small map. Svoil still holding on to that 1st place position. And I'm getting a really dry throat. Grab a sip of water and keep on talking. Or commentating, I should say. As they are moving on to the long straightaway. Let's see if Svoil's strategy has paid off. Because I'm pretty sure that he's going to switch out his tires. TRL Racer is not far behind. I'm pretty sure that TRL Racer has cut down some time. Let's see here as they Spoil passes the Audi sign. TRL Racer is super close. It looks far, but it really isn't. Seconds between them. Is that going to be enough for Spoil to come out ahead or not? He's entering the pits. Let's see when he comes out. Pretty sure that TRL Racer is going to pass Spoil here. Definitely lost some ground there, taking another lap on those tires. But TRL Eraser, they have 2 laps to go. And TRL Eraser's tires are not looking too fancy on the front left side, with Spoil having fresh rubber on his car. But he's definitely going to have to get some heat up fast in those tires, because they are super slippery when cold. Schlaffen still in third, Tolson in fourth, Swedish Jack Army in fifth, Blunt Rider in sixth, Beanotish in seventh, and Stranded Riders 8 and 9. TRL Racer taking back his lead, moving up to first position as he is entering the Nordschleife track. So we'll see. Is TRL Racer going to be able to... Oh, you can see his rear end is slipping out. He's losing the grip. He's going to have to be more careful on the gas. Driving a bit softer. And is that gonna cost him enough time for Spoil to catch up? Because he has fresh tires and he has heat in the tires as well now. So he's going to be super quick. You can see Spoil is just hammering down. He's about 6 seconds behind TRL Racer right now. But as you move further into the Nordschleife track, if you don't have the grip, it's definitely going to show. I would like to have the timer board on the left hand side, but we'll just have to do without it. You can see here Swedish Jack Army also, flashy rims, moving in to switch out his tires. Tolson damaged front left side and also the gearbox, so he's not going to be able to drive just as fast until that has repaired itself. Going back up to first place holder TRL Eraser and Spoil. Spoil is definitely catching up. I think he has caught up about 1 second here. I counted to 5,000. Not too accurate, but it gives us sort of a baseline to go after. Can Spoil catch up and overtake? We'll see. Even with a bit of wear and tear on the tires, these cars are really fast. You can see his front left tire is just wearing down super fast now. As they start to lose grip, they are going to slide more and more, and that is going to cause even more tire wear. So we'll see if Spoil is going to be able to catch up. He's going to have super sticky tires for the whole duration of the race right now, with only 2 laps to go, or 1 1/3 maybe. Still about 4.5–5 seconds behind. It's gonna be super interesting. He's going to be able to catch up. These high-speed sections doesn't really make too much of a difference if you have tire worn down or not, but it's as you move down to these more slithering sections, it's really starting to show. Spoil is already in the carousel. They are super close now. Let's see from a different perspective. well, you can see it right here. He's catching up really fast to TRL Racer. TRL Racer having, you can see his tires there on the left bottom side. They are currently racing on soft tires. Svoll is super close. At first he could barely even see TRL Racer, and now he's right behind him, moving closer and closer. And I think TRL Racer can see it in his rear view mirrors as well, as that Göteborg Driving Academy Lexus is catching up to him. Racer passes the camera, his tires are squealing. And the distance between these two drivers are down to 3 seconds now, with 1 lap to go. Svoll, fresh tires, barely worn, and have heat in them. With TRL Racer, his tires are not looking good, and that is definitely going to tell when they are moving down into the more curvy sections. It's gonna shift his braking point as well. He's not going to be able to be as aggressive on the gas either. And my voice is starting to give up. Here. Yeah, that gap is definitely down to about 2 seconds now. You can hear TRL Racer's tire are still squealing. He's trying to push as hard as he can, not letting Svoll catch up too fast to utilize that slipstream as they are coming down to the back straights here on the GP circuit. If you let Svoll get too close, he's going to capitalize on that slipstream and going to be able to outbrake TRL Racer. Let's just quickly check down here. We have Schlafund in 3rd, Tolson in 4th, Swedish Jack Army in 5th. Tolson going off track here. Swedish Jack Army just getting closer and closer to his monster power something livery. Couldn't quite tell, but Swedish Jack Army goes off track. Unitation 7th and Blunt Rider in 6th. As you can see here, top 2 drivers entering the Schleife car. Svoll is right on TRL Racer's tail. And TRL Racer, is he going to be able to hold up with his tires? I think not. I think Svoll can just stay right behind him, and as they enter a high-speed section, just use that slipstream, overtake and outbrake him. We'll see what he's cooking up here. You can hear TRL Racer's tire are squealing so much, but Svoll's car and his tires are staying completely silent. TRL Racer running out of grip, Svoll right behind him, all the grip in the world. And these two guys are on the last lap. Who is going to come out ahead? Svoll having less penalty weight as well, and also less fuel. So we'll see who is going to take the checker flag first. TRL Racer driving for Team Red Line. Svoil driving for Jetbot Driving Academy. Going a bit wide there, getting a bit of dirt on his tires. Don't think it's gonna matter though. Oh, he's moving so close. Don't want to cause an accident on this last lap. We still have Schlafund in third, Tolson in fourth, still on the GP track. Swedish Jack Army, fifth, Land Rider in sixth, and then we have Benetish in seventh, and Stranded Riders. TRL Racer leading this race, currently holding first position, but his tires are 50% down on his front left. Oh, Svoil taking the inside, almost going off track there. Svoil having really good amounts of grip in his car. He's going to be able to overtake TRL Racer here. TRL Racer a bit wobbly there through the high-speed section. Oh, Svoil just hanging back, waiting for his moment. You can see TRL Racer going super wide there, and Svoil being able to take much tighter turn as they go into the carousel. TRL Racer won the first final on this Nurburgring 24-hour track. The first, second and third driver are getting penalized with weight penalty to even out the field. Oh, Svoil losing the rear end on his car there, losing a lot of elbow time. He's going to be able to catch up. He's feeling maybe the tire wear just a bit there. Super tight race here as they are heading down. Svoil being able to catch up immediately due to having more grip in his tires. TRL Racer, as you can see, his tires are shot through hell. They are super worn down. So is Svoil going to be able to overtake as they are moving closer and closer to this final straightaway? Is a bit far back. I think he might be able to do it. We'll see. I'm not gonna put a commentator's curse on him. Oh, he's super close there, almost making contact. Racer not being able to hold his racing line and had to slow down. Svoil is right on his tail as they are entering the high-speed back straight. So right now he's going to be able to capitalize on that slipstream, going up on the left-hand side of TRL Racer, moving past him. They are going neck and neck, side by side, with Svoil having the inside line, TRL Racer tucking in back behind him, trying to get just a little bit of slipstream. We'll see who is going to come out ahead. And it is Svoil. TRL Racer taking the inside line, not being able to hold it. His tires are wearing, he has two worn down tires. He did not make it. Svoil's strategy panned out for him. He had more grip on the last section, as you can see the tire wear on these two cars. Svoil taking that first place finish. Really good driving from both of these two drivers. TRL Racer struggling so hard until the last stint of this race with these types of tires. And Svoil having basically fresh rubber on his car. have Schlafhund coming down our sport straight away. Tolson having a bit of a spin around here. This track is a menace. Super hard to drive on. Really narrow. Super bumpy. And it's going to catch you off guard if you're not paying attention or just going a bit too far out on the track. Just catching a little bit of debris on the dirt or hitting a curve the wrong way or hitting the wrong curve. It's going to push you off track and smack into the wall. Behind Tolson we have Swedish Jack Army in that Monster Energy green. Behind him we have Blunt Rider riding for the same team. Minatish holding 7th, doing a bit of drifting. Svol has to be super happy with that performance. TRL Racer putting up a super good fight as well. Amazingly that he was able to hold out for so long on those tires. Worn down past 50% on his front left tire there. So that is going to be the end of this stream. So if you wanna race with these drivers, we have different series as well. We are doing Group 2, which is this is the first race of the first season. We have also Group 3, which is coming I think it's just 1 or 2 races left now. And we're also doing something called Group C, which is the old school Group 1 cars. And we also have Group 4, but that is on standby, and we also have Group 1 that is on standby right now. These guys are racing every Monday and starting from today, every Tuesday as well. So if you wanna get in on this racing, you can also talk to this guy who just joined, Bornhall, or you can talk to Svoil or West 308. That's gonna be the end of this stream. Thanks for watching.